Good evening, everybody. My name is Rene R Martinez Jr. and top silver director, Team DSI Foundation team leader, and super blessed to be here tonight. A little bit about myself before we get this thing kicked off is my purpose-driven life is to be a positive impact on as many lives as possible, starting with my kids, my family, my community, my team. I'm just that's my purpose, and super excited to do this training tonight. Blessed to be here and to be a part of this great community. And the training that we're going to be doing today is going to be DMO through challenges. It's worth it. Yes, it is very worth it. Um, I'm going to be getting real on this, and I'm going to be talking about some stuff that we're doing, some stuff that other people are doing, and I'm going to be talking about just all kinds of crazy stuff. So go ahead and turn your web cameras on, and let's go ahead and get this party started. Jared Krebs, Phyllis Walker, Becky Armstrong. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is we were talking about daily method of operation. And whenever you're doing your daily method of operation, if you don't know what a daily method of operation is, it's something that you do on a daily basis to build your business. And that's basically, you know, adding 5 friends to your Facebook, clamming them, comment, liking, add, message, which you can do in that order or you can do in other orders. What's up? I see Jared. How's it going, man? And so you go through the DMO, and then, you know, there's going to be challenges. At the beginning of this webinar, it said there's going to be ups and downs. And it doesn't matter if you've been in the business for 1 month or 3.5 years or whatever. It's kind of like last week. To be real, I had a bad last week. The only reason we were on the leaderboards was because Megan was signed some people up and did really good. And don't ever feel bad about having a bad week, because my high school football coach used to tell me that the only person that walked on this earth that was perfect had holes in his hands and his feet. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect. So every once in a while you're gonna get that perfect DMO week, unless you're like a DMO machine like Jared and getting your perfect DMO weeks every week, and it shows. Whenever you do your DMO and do your DMO and do your DMO on a consistent basis, exciting things are going to happen. And you can see with all the leaderboard stuff that's going on in our team that's why that stuff is happening. So, for example, and I want to rewind back to the stuff that Megan was saying whenever she was talking about being a product of the product, and uh, you know having her stuff and drinking stuff and taking vitamins and stuff in front of people. Don't do that on social media. This is just a little tip. Don't do it on social media, because whenever I was brand new to social media, I blasted USANA. I look like a walking commercial on my social media, and that turns people away. You, it definitely. I never signed anybody up my first couple years on social media, but whenever you start creating curiosity, that's when people start asking you what you're doing. When you create curiosity, when people start asking, they're opening the invitation for conversation. That's when you're going to start signing up people. And the stuff that we learned from GoPro Recruiting Mastery last year or 2 years ago in Las Vegas, actually, when we started putting this DMO in the working stages, we started seeing a big difference. I mean, Jared, I know, yeah, he's putting his arms up. A big difference, right? Whenever you create curiosity and you inspire and you educate and entertain, and going back to the Facebook Lives, if you don't do Facebook Lives, I want to challenge everybody to at least start doing one. or at least start doing 3 so you can get points on your DMO, your track weapon and win. You know, Facebook Lives, we were talking about getting out of our comfort zone. I know there's a lot of people on this webinar that don't know me. You know, I was like a huge introvert. Like, I don't like, you know, standing up and speaking. I don't like even this right here, it's out of my comfort zone. But I know that to get to the next level, you know, you have to get yourself out of your comfort zone. And I usually tell people, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because, you know, like when I started this business, I didn't have Facebook, I didn't have email, I didn't have a smartphone, I had a flip phone. I didn't have none of that stuff. I was like this. I was like that. And somehow, because Jared is such a good teacher, we still got our platinum pace setter done. We still signed up a lot of people. We still, I think we ranked advanced all the way to director until we finally got Facebook. Because Jared told me, he goes, bro, he goes, you want to take your business to the next level? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm ready. He's like, you need to get an iPhone, and you need to get Megan an iPhone, and you need to get on Facebook. I'm like, what? Are you serious? I was in Las Vegas. Actually, we were in Las Vegas whenever he was telling me this. And I was like, you know what? Done. Let's do it. Got a MacBook Pro, got this, got that. He inspired me because I saw him walk across the stage getting in Las Vegas. I saw him walking across the stage getting a medal for being a top Ruby. This is when he was a Ruby. And I was like, I want that. So whenever, and this goes to one of my points is, my grandpa used to always tell me, show me your 5 best friends. Show me your 5 best friends and I'll show you who you are. Meaning, if you have 5 best friends that don't care about the future, they don't want to build, they don't want to inspire, all they want to do is just whatever, you know, that's the way you're going to want to be, because people influence people. And that's why I knew, you know, I tell everybody whenever I'm introducing Jared, this is one of my best friends, because it's true. And it's got to be real. You can't just be like, oh, it's one of my best friends. He really is, because we have stuff in common. We have common goals. And, you know, we're really good friends. We turned into really good friends after we, you know, started doing business together. And those are the kind of people that you want to do business with, because you're going to inspire each other. You know, I'm doing this webinar, and I'm reading all the accomplishments. I'm seeing him top Emerald director, all this. And when I started, he was a Ruby. I'm seeing him go up. I'm seeing him better himself. I'm seeing him, but what he's doing is he's inspiring me that, hey, if I can do this, you can do it. But he's not saying it. He's leading by example. So, you know, and think about it, even whenever you're in a certain point of your life, any point of your life, think about your 5 best friends. Think about where you were at this part of your life. Think about those 5 best friends, and think about where you want to be. Think about where you want to be, and then start surrounding yourself with people that inspire you to be where you want to be. And I was thinking about this today at work. For those of you that don't know, I'm a full-time mechanic. I do USANA part-time, very part-time, and I'm going to kind of talk about how I do that. Full-time mechanic. This month of March, I'm probably going to be working, I don't even know how many. It'll be 7 days a week, 12-hour days. Last week we worked 12 hours all week long. It's pretty much how bad do you want it? And just like I said, nobody's perfect. I had been doing my DMO. I've been very consistent, and I fell off. Last week I fell off, and I really didn't do much. You know, I added a couple friends. I didn't invite nobody. I got one previous customer to order some K2, and the rest was Megan. You know, that's why we were on the boards last week. And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get down on yourself if you had a bad week, because this is a long-term game. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And, you know, Jared's leading by example with that. He didn't, you know, I met him 3.5 years ago, and he was talking about, you know, going up this and that, and the other. The next day he didn't rake and back. The next day he didn't go Emerald. but he's doing it slowly and he's making it happen, and the system is working. Just like our new sharer that she was talking. She basically said she's following the system. Do this, X, Y, Z, and it'll happen. Be patient, and a little bit about the DMO, daily method of operation. Uh, the way I do it with my crazy schedule, like I said, I literally worked 12-hour shift today. Jared texted me at like 7:30. I was pulling in the gate. I was like, I'll be on in like 10 minutes. I got to get my phone, get this, get that. Boom, on. But you know, I didn't make that excuse. I didn't make that excuse of no, I can't do it. I got a 12-hour shift. I got this. I got that. You know, sometimes you got to just push yourself out of your comfort zone. Well, this is a perfect example of myself being out of my comfort zone after a 12-hour day. I'd rather be at home. I'd rather be at home, you know, chilling in the bed, not doing anything. But, you know, I want to share with the team and bring some value to everybody. Because this right here, we were talking about the Future Leader Awards right there. That right there from didn't happen from, oh, I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed. You know, one of the things that Simon Chan taught me, and I'm a purpose driven networker. Drop some comments if you're a purpose driven networker. You know, I have purpose. I want to help people. You know, I just have purpose. I want to be a positive inspiration on on more people. You know, life isn't just about me; it's about everybody around me. So where I was going with this is one of the things that Simon Chan taught me a while back. It was probably whenever I did coaching with him, and he always told me, he goes, it's always the one call that you don't want to do at the end of the day, or the one person that you don't want to talk to at the end of the day, or the one text message that you need to follow up with at the end of the day, that's going to be the best one. There's always that one more. There's always that one more. And he would tell me stories about how he would go and he would work and he would just be out all night DMOing and talking to people and just signing people up at like 3 in the morning. I mean, just, you know, don't give up on yourself and don't ever prejudge anybody. One of the one of the one of the one of the big time leaders that Simon Chan signed up. I think he's like I don't even know how many star diamond. Like gave him the runaround. He was there all night. I mean, it's just don't give up and don't prejudge people. So a little bit about uh, my DMO on whenever it's just insane. Find little block chunks of time, because if you're like super busy and you're like, oh, well, I need at least an hour to do this or do this. Break it up in little pieces of time. Think about it. How many times are you by yourself? How many times are you by yourself? You know, like being real, when I'm at work and I go to the restroom and I'm sitting on the toilet, like this is real. This is straight up. When I'm sitting on the toilet at work, I'm doing my DMO because that's like one of the only times I have to do it. Like for real, I can get out like 5 friend requests and do the straight up clown. I did it this morning. But that's on the real. Think about it. Little block chunks of time. You know, you're waiting for whatever. You're doing this. You're doing that. Whatever you have in your life. You know, my lunch. I have a 30-minute lunch. I usually like eat as fast as I can. You know, 20, probably 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes less than that if I have a shake. And I'll walk out. I have to completely walk out of my building that I'm in, go outside because there's no signal, and I'll start doing my DMO, which I'll post something on my Facebook, or I'll follow up with somebody, or I'll do something instead of just doing this. Whenever you have a plan, you get stuff done. And if you don't have a plan, and this is for me, if you don't have a plan, you'll just be scrolling through social media all day long. And the only reason, and like I said, with me, my whole social media, the only reason I have it is for our business, because that, that's why we got it. I didn't have social media when I met Jared. We did it old school. We did home events. We talked to people face to face, and there's nothing wrong with that, because just like Megan was saying, I think the past 3 or 4 customers that she signed up, they're people that she's been talking to face to face. Logan Avila, I don't know if he's on the webinar, but my new associate that I signed up last month, that was face to face. That was the conversation. That was the guy that I work with. A guy that I work with that started off as a client, and then we piqued his interest with the business. Did you hear? And let me say that again. He started off as a client, and then we piqued his interest with the business. So we didn't just go and attack like, oh, this business is awesome. This business is this business is that. Because think about how you started. I started as an associate at the top level, but I really wasn't interested in the business. Not at that time. But then life happens, things change, and I'm like, I want to do it. I'm all in. And, everybody is different. And I have to remember that sometimes, especially whenever we're signing up, new associates, new clients, new customers. Everybody has their own story, and it's, you have to be aware of that stuff. Not everybody's going to be like you. Just like Phyllis was saying, I think it was Phyllis that was saying, you almost have to step back and just kind of let them talk a little bit, and just take it in. So the thing that I wanted to talk about the social media, I know everybody on here is like all about social media. And like I was saying, the one little tip that I was gonna say to everybody on our team, it's a mistake that I made. It's a mistake that Jared made, and it got us nowhere. Don't blast on your personal timeline. Don't blast anything about USANA, because the statistics show, and it's a proven fact, that you are scaring people away. People that would potentially be your client, potentially join your team, potentially, all this potential, you're scaring them away. And I definitely don't want you guys to do the mistake that I made. For that whole year that my social media was like a USANA billboard, I signed up that many people from social media. That many. Right, Jared? Jared's laughing because he knows. That many. I tried so hard. I was like the hunter trying to hunt everybody. It doesn't work like that. When you create curiosity, people ask questions, and when people ask questions, it's opening an invitation for conversation, and they want to know more. They want to do what you're doing. And that's a whole nother training about that, but that's just a little tip that I wanted to throw out there. For all you new people, please don't drop anything about USANA. It's not going to help. And USANA Fit Family, that's actually a Facebook private group that me and Jared came up with. And it's actually for prospects. It's for people that want to know more about USANA. It's for people that you meet, people that you've sent videos to, people that are asking questions. Hey, if you want, I can add you to this. And this is what I tell people. Hey, if you want, I can add you to this worldwide group that we have, and we share, USANA with others. And it works. It works because, whenever I was trying to do it on my social media, I had that many signups. And then now, since we've been using the group, since we've been changed, since our DMO that we have has been working so awesome, I don't even know. I think we have like 30 or 40 people that we've signed up on social media, within the last year, which is, 40 compared to that many. That's a big difference, big difference. And that was just a little bit of a tweak is what we did. big difference. So just like Simon Chan says, whenever you're on social media, you want to educate, you want to entertain, and you want to inspire people. That's what you want to do. Educate, entertain, inspire. So like if you look at mine, I talk a lot about my family. I talk a lot about my religion. I talk a lot about stuff that I care about. And every once in a while, which this is another thing that I need to get back into, is doing my once a month Facebook live, once a week Facebook live, uh, kind of like a, what did Jessie Lee Ward call it? It was kind of like a, hey everybody, check this out. What did she call it, Jared? Do you remember?
Spank them.
Yes, you spank them. The people that want to know more about making money, the people that want to know more about losing weight, feeling great, you spank them and you kind of tease them a little bit, and it works. Jared, how many people have you signed up from those Facebook Live?
At least 6.
It works. It
Probably
works.
more actually, but yeah.
And it's just like, and it's just like the DMO. It works if you work. It works, but if you don't work, it's not going to work. Does that make sense? The DMO works, but if you don't work, it's not going to work. So your upline, your mentor, your business partner is not going to be able to do it for you. You have to put some work in. You have to friend request people. You have to create curiosity. You have to you have to put some, a little bit more in than most. If you really want to make it happen, if you really want to build this business, that's what it's all about. Excuse me. And like I said, so it's just about, I didn't get that. Jared, what did that comment say?
So just thinking about it doesn't work?
No, just thinking about it doesn't work.
That was
and let me tell you, and let me tell you, whenever you just think about it, you talk yourself out of it. Because if you're making less than $1,000 a month in this business, you're talking more to yourself than you are to prospects. And if you reverse that role, if you start talking to people as much as you're talking to yourself, like amazing things are going to happen. Amazing things are going to happen. And you're going to start finding people that are going to say yes instead of saying no. And you're going to start finding people that want to build on social media. And you're going to start finding people that want to have home events. And you're going to start finding people that want to go with you to Salt Lake City, that want to go with you to Las Vegas, that want to go with you to wherever, to Sweet Retreat, to California. We have an amazing opportunity, and all we have to do is share it with people. How many people do you know that want to travel? Everybody wants to travel. How many people want a tax write-off? All your traveling can be a tax write-off. All your everything. The tax. That was the whole reason that I personally myself signed up as an associate, because I wasn't interested in the business, but I was buying so much stuff. Jared told me, he goes, you know what? Who flexed, Jared or both of us? Go get, yeah. Okay, yes. So I haven't been to the gym. I've been working a lot. It looks kind of small. But that was the turning point for me. Was we were buying all this stuff. My wife and I had health issues. We wanted to get this stuff, and it was like, bro, this is what he told me. He goes, bro, because you're buying all this stuff. He goes, you can turn this into a business for $29.95, and you can have a tax write-off. You can write off, your gas, your this, your cell phone, the part of your mortgage. It just, the list goes on and on. And it made sense to me because it was like, I was in the oil field. I was making a bunch of money. I didn't care about making money, but the tax write-off, that's pretty cool. And then when I got my stuff, the products are amazing. We had awesome results. It's like whenever you go watch a good movie, what are you going to do? You want to tell everybody about it. And then that's when the snowball started happening. So just don't prejudge people. It doesn't matter how much people make. Don't be intimidated by that. Because when Jared met me, I was making a high 6-figure income. And, I wasn't interested in money. But things change, people change, life happens, and your five, you're just going back to the five best friends, you change up your five best friends and you start wanting to build a business, you start wanting to travel, you start wanting to get in your family into it. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And it's just, it's just amazing. What time is it? Okay, so I'm gonna stop rambling. I hope that you guys got some valuable information about this stuff. I'm always an open book. If you guys aren't friends with me on Facebook, I am the one and only Rene R Martinez Jr. on the whole platform. The one and only. There's another Rene Martinez Jr., but the R in the middle, I'm the only one. And send me a friend request. You have questions. I'm always here to help any of you guys. You have whatever. So we're gonna open it up for some Q&A before it's over. I'm getting all pumped up. I'm probably not even gonna be able to sleep. I'm supposed to get up at 5 in the morning, go back to work for another 12-hour shift. I'm just gonna DM all night. I'm gonna make up for last week, and I'm just gonna stay up and message like 100 people. I don't even care. Y'all are getting me all pumped up. Jared's over here flexing, getting me all. Woo! Okay. So Jared, was there any questions in the comments, or if you want, you can unmute yourself. Sally looks like she has a question. What do you got, Sally? No questions?
Rene, I loved it, man. Thank you for sharing your stories and being transparent, and also sharing your challenges. And I think it was the funniest when you told me you're on the pot sending out messages, because I do that too.
Hey,
rock and roll. But I just would never say it. But
hey, I didn't want to say it, but I get a lot of work done when I'm in the bathroom, I guess. even though it's like 5 minutes, you know, when Simon Chan does his DMO on Purpose Driven Networker, it's 5-minute increments. And if I could get out 5, you know, friend requests or 5 invites or 5 anything in those 5 minutes, then you're that many ahead of the last one.
Yeah. That's so true. And so I just want to thank you for just sharing all the wisdom, the knowledge. I love what you said about you're talking to yourself more than you're talking to prospects if you're making less than $1,000 a month, like all that stuff, because it's like, no, get out there and make those calls. Quit talking to yourself, you know? So awesome stuff. I actually have a prospect call here at 9 o'clock, so I got to rock and roll, but I'm going to leave y'all to talk. I will watch. I'll put myself on mute. Anyone who has questions for Rene or chats or comments, but thank you, Rene.
You're welcome. Okay, so Sally, you unmuted yourself?
I did. I thought that I love listening to you, and I love being reminded that we can do these in small little blocks, 5 minutes. Like you said, I think a lot of us are working a lot of hours, and I have continual interruptions in my job. But if I can manage 5 minutes, maybe on the hour, every hour, for at least 3 of those hours that I'm there, I think it'd be great.
Yeah, it definitely helps. And one of my things is whenever I'm filling out my weekly action plan, and on the second page, you know, at the very bottom where it says simplify, I always write to do my USANA work at my work, because I have a wife, I have 3 kids, so I'm trying to get all my work done at my work and just doing the follow-up calls when I get home with the family. Thank you so much, Sally, for that comment. And Juliana Kelly, can you unmute yourself and tell me what your highlight of the webinar was?
I liked, well, kind of what everybody else is talking about is the whole 5 minutes. I tell people it takes 5-10 minutes to shoot out 10 invites. And then I stay consistent. I know 2 times I can be consistent is 10 o'clock at night and 12 o'clock on my break. Those times never change. And that's when I follow people, hit people up, go over the invite and get the appointment scheduled. And then I do all the follow-ups while I'm driving home, whether I'm home, in between the times with the kids. And then I have my neighbors that also come over that I have to make time for them as well. So I'm throwing calls in between them.
That's awesome. That sounds a lot like what I'm doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be doing some great things, and you're going to be sharing with a lot of people, and definitely look forward to your success.
Yes.
Okay, who else do we have on here? Megan, your highlight. Let me see.
Hello, everybody. Well, I'm just so glad to see all the faces, and of course, all of our, current faces right now. You guys, I miss everybody. Um, but just sometimes I, I fall off track too. I mean, I don't have a full job, but my job responsibilities at my current I guess at my current gym, I guess it's just gonna kind of keep going with more and more and more. But I just have to remind myself not to get so overwhelmed that I just freeze and I don't do anything, because I don't know what to do. And I know what to do, but sometimes it's all stuck up here, and it's just like, it's like a yarn. It's like a ball of yarn that everything just kind of intertwines, and there's no end to it. It's like a big spaghetti plate, you know what I mean? And so sometimes I have to remind myself that if I just create the action, if I just do it, that ball of yarn will slowly start to unravel itself, and I'll start getting things done. I'm more focused. But I get to where I'm overthinking a lot of things, and all becomes a little ball of yarn, and then I freeze, and then there's no action. So I have to really, um, you know, I guess recognize it. I'm able to recognize it now, so I can put it to a stop. But other than that's just one thing that I like, is that it takes 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 increments, and then that's it. I'm done for the day. So it's just a good refresher and reminder that I know that I can get this much work done in just this matter of time.
That's awesome, and I love that you added that in. You guys remember that action creates a reaction, and we're gonna give the last word to Phyllis Walker. I saw that she unmuted herself, and we can't hear you, or I can't.
Sorry.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
I was going to ask you to explain a little bit more about your CrossFit. I'm not on Facebook a lot. When I do go on, it's just the regular Facebook. I haven't been on your Facebook page very much. How does that work if I have somebody sign or enroll there?
What you wanted to ask about what?
If I have a person that's interested in USANA and I add them to that page, what goes on?
Okay, so the way it works is, say for example, I had a guy that was interested in USANA a couple months ago, and this has happened to me a lot. So you have those prospects that they're real hot and heavy to begin with. They're like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then I want to do this, and then they kind of like disappear. Well, the way the group works is whenever you first start talking to somebody, and just say, for example, Juliana is interested in USANA. So I'm talking to her over here, and plus I'm going to add her in that group. I'm going to add her in that group because we have our Wednesdays calls. We're always posting information about USANA, this and that. And you don't want to just put anybody in there. You want to put people that are interested in what we're doing. So, like, I added a couple people in there for, let me see, there was this one guy that I signed up as a customer. He was in that group for a year, and he was watching everything that we were doing. He was looking at the stuff. He was not posting anything. He was kind of liking. And then I signed him up after a year of being in that group because he asked me a question about some products. And then I got a phone call out of it. and then he had his auto order is like a 200 and something point order. All this was from, I prospected him to begin with, but he wasn't ready. So whenever you put somebody in this group, it's kind of like the drip information is going on them, but it's not you specifically showing it to them. They're on there and they're looking at stuff that they want to look at, and they're just being a part of that community can inspire somebody to want to try the products or want to be in the business or anything like that. Logan Avalar was in that group, and it got him interested in the business because we talk about business stuff on there.
Okay, so I guess I really need to get on there more often.
Which the USANA Fit Family group?
Uh-huh.
That group is specifically for prospect. It's specifically for people to sign up. It's not a client's page. It's not an associate's page. It's an everybody page. And I'm super excited about that group because when we first started it, my thing was I want associates from around the world in there. And currently there's people from 24 different countries in that group. So it's very, very diverse and it's very worldwide. And it's just really awesome. And I know that we've kind of gone over on the time. And if anybody has more questions about, anything, hit me up. And I just wanted to end everything with, we are in the business, we're in the profession to help others. So go out there and be a positive impact on someone's life today. Good night and God bless. Everybody unmute and say good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless you guys. Bye.
Good night and God bless. Bye, Megan.
Bye,
Renee.
Phil.
Hi.
Leanne.
Y'all have a good night.